Hello and welcome back to Astromantics, the astrology show where I look at people's charts and talk about them. Usually, if there's something sexy in there, I will shout it out. Most of the time, that's my favorite subject. But sometimes when I'm like looking at celebrity charts, like I'm gonna do today, I'll just talk about whatever I see because mostly I just want to be impressive. Astrology. Okay. Today, I'm going to talk about Brad Pitt. And in case you live in a hole and you do not know who Brad Pitt is, I'm going to show you. Before I do that, let me pull up a freaking picture of the dude. Okay, there he is. Bam. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen so you can see what Brad Pitt looks like. Super gorgeous dude. Okay, Brad Pitt, here he is. Troy. That was one of my more favorite pictures of him. And Brad Pitt. Of course, he's hot. He's beautiful. There he is, right? I have friends of mine. I have straight male friends who are like, Brad Pitt, drool, drool. Of course, they're a little bit older. They're around my age, 40s. Brad Pitt. And the other person we're going to talk about is Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie. What? I have both these ladies' birth charts, except that we don't have an exact time of birth for either of those ladies. So, understand that it could be a little bit different, right? I'm going to mostly pick out like aspects and things like that to talk about them. But first up, Mr. Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt. There's his shit. Now, this guy is in Luna in my charts, which means that dude, his information's out there. His birth chart information. Holy schmagoli, look at this. This guy is putting himself out in the world. Yeah, see this? Look at all this. Look at all this action on the left side of his chart. It's in like, he's got a lot in like the first, second, and third houses, which is sort of like the I am portion of your chart. Like things come through your filter to the outside world. You're not learning a whole lot about yourself from the world in or being out in the world, experiencing yourself. Most people who have that, like they discover themselves out in the world, have more shit up here, right? More stuff on the upper half, right? Above the horizon, what the world can see. This guy has more below what only he knows and most people can't see. But we see it anyway, right? Because you kind of can't not be yourself anyway. So the first thing I notice is AC Sagittarius. That is the sign of the beast. Half centaur, half human, half animal, half human, right? Half beast, half human. So they have a beasty thing about them. A lot of times you'll see people who have like a lot of valor, who like fighting in some way, right? For valorous reasons. Or the other thing about Sagittarius is they tend to be like really funny, right? Like they can do imitations of other people. Unless they have like Pluto in Sag or other things. There are some Sag risings that I know that have other placements like Black Moon Lilith or Pluto in their first house who aren't as good at impersonations, or they don't like doing them anyway. But this dude doesn't. This guy has a rising AC in Sagittarius and a sun 25 degrees Sagittarius. So dude is good at impersonations, good at fighting, will come across to other people as half beast, half human, right? Yes, I'm civilized, but I'm also a beast. Boom. And then you can kind of see that in the movies that he chooses to play. The ones that come to my mind immediately are Troy, because that's the one that made me think of when he plays Achilles, right? And he's a beast, right? He's a warrior, a valorous person, right? I think of also like Fight Club. That's where he's kind of jokestery, right? He has a sort of like a dark, dry humor, right? And he, again, plays half human, half beast, made up person, right? Yeah, that's him. And Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So where is the dude's Jupiter? In Aries. Okay. So this puts an Aries sort of overlay. This means that So he's got a Jupiter in Aries. This means that every day he feels like it makes him happy to play roles where he plays a brave person, a person who's discovering new things, a pioneer in some way, right? Jupiter is usually an indicator of children too, and in the house of children, we'll have lots of children. But Aries, fifth house people sometimes don't have children born of their own body sometimes. And I know that he has a lot of children who he and Angelina adopted together, which benevolent as fuck. Thank you for doing that, you know? But that's kind of what that makes me think of, right? He's got children, a lot of them, and maybe made an impulsive decision to be like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Or has children, Aries, anyway, that's just warrior children, something like that too. I don't know. Because when I think of Aries, I think of warrior, I think of Mars, and he's got an exalted Mars here, see, in Capricorn. Yeah, has a lot of luck, this one. A lot of luck in things in his values and in ways that he makes money. Right. His second house is Capricorn. That's very goal oriented, very organized, right? Very also altruistic, right? Capricorn has that. Capricorn parties as hard as it works, right? It's a hard worker, hard partier. Yeah, beautiful body. We have a Venus at 23 degrees Capricorn conjunct Moon 22 degrees of Capricorn. This person really, really believes in hard work. Venus kind of comes in and makes it a little bit lazier, but Mars is like hard worker, hard worker, hard worker. Dude, I bet on set he's a beast, right? We'll keep going until he gets it right. So I think that's really interesting. South Node has been like, so South Node in the chart means that there is something about past lives that is easy for him to play a warrior, right? To play a lover, to play a beautiful body, right? To play a maybe writer, you know, to be a right. So that's his South Node is to respect authority. Don't reinvent the wheel. You climb, there's a ladder, hierarchy matters. There's a value for hierarchy here in the second house. We'll make money also in that way, right? Older people liking him. He does that Benjamin Button where he is old and then reverses, right? Reverse grows. Anyway. All right. He has a North Node in Cancer of the 8th house. So is to embrace family life, is to embrace nurturing, is to embrace being a mom, kind of, right? Being a divine feminine kind of person. North Node in the 8th house, meaning like merge with family, right? Merge with those who you really, really care about, being vulnerable enough to merge with those who you care about, defending heavily those who you care about. I don't really care about other people so much as I care hoard about my family there. Okay. So what would he be like in bed? First of all, Sagittarius, that's a beast, right? Ooh, and he's got Vesta devotion in here. Candlelight was what I think of when I think of Vesta in some way. But yeah, I think of there's a purity to Vesta, right? A fanatical purity. So I don't know, some kind of devotion that it gives me like priestess vibes. So I wonder if he is like his beliefs are Aries. I wonder if he's, you know, kind of really into being very bestial, but in a reverent way, right? Sagittarius, Moon in Sagittarius, I know loves toys, right? Sun in Sagittarius. Oh God, do you ever play with bows and arrows in some way, Brad Pitt? Like that'd be interesting. Bows and arrows, making some kind of play with that, right? Oh, impersonations. Ooh, where's his Leo at? Aries is 5th house, so bold, something like that. Where does he, Leo's the 9th house. Interesting. So his 9th house, which is the sun would have its dignity, which is in his 1st house. Leo, that's the sign of the actors, right? Actors. So his higher calling is to be an actor in some way, right? Or to be on a stage, giving the stage to others. So something that I realized about Leo placements recently is that Leo wants to has the capacity to give other people the stage. So actors, they take the stage, but they're playing somebody else. So really they're giving the stage to whoever it is they're acting as. And yeah, Jupiter Warrior. I wonder if he would play like do like cosplay or like dress up. I mean, he doesn't have any placements in Leo specifically, but I don't know. Something about it says a lot of rough, a lot of pioneering, right? This is not a gentle person. This is a person who wants to achieve something, right? Maybe achieve goals. Oh, I wonder if you could have things that you want to do, goals that you want to achieve, and do like some kind of gold star. Now, I bet it's not even that planned out because Sagittarius isn't much of a planner. They're more into aesthetics. So yeah, interesting. Definitely dressing up like aesthetically, you know, or like doing an aesthetic look would be interesting. Adventure, so long distance travel. We would definitely talk about some philosophical shit for sure, right? He's got Jupiter in the fifth house of romance, sex for fun, sex for pleasure, and we have Jupiter here. So Jupiter, he could talk about his children, but I think also talk about ways in which he feels like he is pioneering sort of understanding and philosophical views. Teacher, oh shit. Like he may want to teach and learn, right? So that would be an interesting thing. I wonder if he'd like to travel and learn how to do sort of sexual things. Ooh, like what if you did like, I traveled to another country to learn intimacy stuff. I just whatever. Intimacy stuff, right? To learn, like Karma Sutra. Ooh, like that would be interesting for this dude, I think, right? Karma Sutra stuff. Yeah, baby. Like learning how to do, how to be one with a person. Like they could practice it at home, right? Like he could really let go and merge at home, but learn it abroad, you know? Yeah, look at that there. We got his fourth house of home is Pisces, right? And definitely Pisces is very much about let's blur the boundaries. There are no boundaries. I love people around the world, right? There's something benevolent about his home life. Also, he could probably be very sensitive at home. Shut the fuck up, Brad. You probably are. Because Pisces can be very, if they feel like they can't come through, then they'll feel like a victim. Well, they couldn't because, and they'll give you a list of reasons why they couldn't come through, right? Because they feel bad. There is a misery to Pisces if they feel ashamed in any way, or they feel like they couldn't fulfill an order, if you will, right? If they couldn't fulfill a promise they made, they feel super miserable. So I bet you can really feel miserable at home and like a martyr, right? Fine, I will, you know. There's a martyr mentality there. But anyway, okay, so his ego is let's travel. His ego is teacher. His ego is student. His ego is beast. He probably gets rough. Just saying. Definitely gets rough for sure. He has an Earth mother here, so there is unconditional loving here. So he's not like heartless or some shit, but like there's a reverence. There's goddess vibes in here, right? There's two asteroids, so there is a feminine energy, a receptive energy in here. But yeah, impersonating, like, oh my god, it'd be fun to be like, make love to me, like how I look when you're making love, like that would be interesting. Impersonate me while we do it, like something like that. I don't know. Mars and Venus, both in Capricorn. He brings his own sexy party. Yeah, with his body. Okay, so the moon in Capricorn, I definitely, and he's got Mars there. Definitely I would paddle the shit out of that guy. And we do like goals, like how intensely could you do it every time? Maybe. Venus is here, and Venus doesn't really like to be hurt. She doesn't really like to be paddled, but she does like goals, and she does like taking it like a champ, right? Like I can do what others can't, right? She would seduce with office supplies. Would you do office supply, Mr. Pitt? Office supply, sex in the office, office area, Capricorn, work, legacy goals. Now I'm thinking of Angelina Jolie and he in that one movie, where they're like both assassins, whatever. I can't remember what it is because I'm so bad at remembering names, titles to movies. But yeah, definitely Mars here likes to pursue sort of BDSM usually often. We'll have a value for it in some way, other Cap Mars that I know are like that. But yeah, has some kind of value for it for sure. Mercury Capricorn thinks like a Capricorn, right? Thinks in responsibility, thinks in maturity, likes mature topics, mature subjects. Moon and Cap, you're gonna have to just make them really, really hard because Moon and Cap, they can like cut themselves and not know how they did it, right? They're the ones who can be like, when did that happen? Or have a bruise. When did that happen? Moon and Capricorn, right? But that physical, they don't feel so Capricorn rules the skeletal system and the teeth, right? So definitely biting is a thing. Biting would be interesting for this guy. If you were getting with him, you might have a value for it, either biting you or biting him. When you're paddling in a way that would make him feel his own bones. Oh yeah, dude, definitely for sure. This guy would be rough. Be rough with Brad. Even if he thinks he doesn't want it, he totally want it. Yeah, and he's got Saturn in Aquarius of the third house, so he thinks in Capricorn. The dude is so Capricorn. So if you have Capricorn in your chart, Brad Pitt is gonna be into you. You should just hit him up. All right. Fifth house, yeah, likes to flirt in philosophy, in bold philosophy, maybe new philosophies that are cutting edge in some way would be very interesting to him. So I would definitely like flirt like that with the dude. Okay. Yeah, ninth house of intimate, super intimate things. He like it cozy. Actually, he wants to be cozy when he's merging with someone, right? Merging finances. It's kind of a businessy placement. Also Cancer, right? They're tough on the outside, soft on the inside. So he may come across as more tough than he really truly is on the inside. He definitely has a soft spot, will have a soft spot for mamas. All right. Yeah, and so he's got 12th house Scorpio, which rules the genitals. So that is also sort of will undo himself. Oh, yeah. And he's got Juno okay. So he's got Juno, and Juno represents sort of ideal marriage partners or ideal community in some ways, female communities, support communities. And Juno also represents betrayal, so where we felt betrayed. So if he has felt betrayed in his lifetime, he will have felt it in like a repressed way, or maybe repressed the ways in which he felt betrayed. He may have felt betrayed by faith, like he's been duped in a way, maybe duped in sex, duped in wisdom. Black Moon Lilith is here. That's a man's sort of secret mistress, right? What he desires in a mistress is sexual, taboo, dark, occult. There will be something about that he desires in a mistress. And it's in the 12th house of undoing yourself for. So, and it's in the genitals. So in his lifetime, he will experience Neptune also can make us feel like, what is the truth? Is this truth, right? It can make us feel kind of confused because we kind of see it as all blob or glob is the same thing. So interesting. That's interesting. All right. Let's go to Jennifer Aniston. And in case you don't know what Jennifer Aniston looks like, this is her. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous lady, right? Jennifer Aniston. She was in like Friends, which oddly enough, I did not watch. Don't tell anyone, but never got into Friends. No. Even though I'm an Aquarius 11th house, I feel like I should love Friends, that show. Like it was like all right, but I don't know. I just never did. I know, shame on me. All right. So let's look at Jennifer Aniston. So again, it's a double A rating. online, but we don't have a birth chart, so things could be subject to change. So Jennifer Aniston has a 24-degree-ish, possibly, Libra. As the day goes on, she could have a Scorpio, but I highly doubt a Scorpio one would be, well, yeah, because she's known to be beautiful, right? And Libra is the sign of beautiful, right? It's Venus ruled. And Venus ruled is tends to be all about things like ballet and pretty, right? Unless she has like Pluto there, then it's sort of like a darker pretty, controlling pretty, right? She has Pluto in Virgo. So extreme health, extreme spiritual health, because she has hers in the 12th house. Anyway, I don't know. All right. So she has Jupiter and Uranus and South Node in Libra. So the more she knows herself, the more she is to sort of move away from just being pretty into being something maybe deeper, a little more edgy, a little more paving the way. Definitely youthful, though. She will be seen as youthful because her North Node and her 7th house, others will see her as Aries. So youthful, young. But she has Saturn here too, which means she might rapidly age later in life, right? Like the older she gets, the more we might see her rapidly age. Anyway, sorry. I hope that's not super horrible news for you, Jennifer. All right. So Jupiter, she'll have a lot of luck with her beauty, right? Uranus, she needs a lot of independence. She might enjoy electrocution. I mean, Venus doesn't like anything that really hurts. Anything that's like too owie, right? Venus isn't really like that. But Uranus is, I'm independent, I'm not, I'm independent, I'm not. So she might flip back and forth between wanting to join with others and being like, nah, I want to be on my own, right? So people who have Uranus and Libra in the 1st house definitely need a lot of independence when it comes to relationships, for sure. Like living on their own. Yes, I'll have a boyfriend. Yes, we can be together, but I prefer to live on my own. Thank you so much, right? A lot. Jupiter here. All right. So the way to stroke her ego is tell her she's pretty, but also don't be an asshole, right? She can see when someone's being an asshole. She will tell you if she thinks you're being an asshole, because her 7th house here of Aries, right? Her 7th house of Aries has Venus in it. So she'll be charming about telling you, but Saturn is a little more interesting. I don't know. Saturn tends to restrict things. It's okay. Saturn in Aries, first of all, this tells me it's in a sextile to her son of Aquarius. Okay. People who have Saturn in Aries, she may have been raised by another father, a father who wasn't her own, and maybe had a better relationship. Because when Saturn is in a sextile to the sun, that's usually pretty good, right? But Saturn in Aries, people tend to have fathers who are very hard, who expect a lot of them or nothing at all. There's usually like this extremely hard father aspect. And then Aquarius is definitely the sign of aloneness, loneliness, right? So it's in a sextile to a Saturn ruled sun. So they are having a good conversation, right? There is some sort of good conversation between those two placements. So I can't be 100% like, oh, she didn't get along with her dad, but definitely it was not the easiest relationship, for sure. And we've got okay. So yeah, that is Saturn. This also means that when it comes to being with others, being with people who she's in contracts with, she may be a little bit, when she was younger, quick to commit, too quick to commit to contracts, right? Too quick to commit to saying yes to things that would look like she would be moving quickly on, right? Saturn and Aries, Saturn can be our life purpose. So she's definitely supposed to be brave the older she gets, right? The more mature she gets, because Saturn is the planet of maturity. And also it's the planet of restriction or delays. So it's like she's quick to commit, but then actually has delays when it comes to really nailing down the contracts with others, right? In relationships. And Aries is, again, another sign of major independence. This woman needs independence, I'm telling you. Venus in Aries. My mother has a Venus in Aries. This means that she attracts people who are brave. She attracts people who speak their mind. She attracts people very quickly, very rapidly, right? Venus in Aries, though, part of the way, so Venus wants to be slow and seductive and she wants to say yes to anything you want to do, as so long as the transaction is good for her as well. Venus in Aries is kind of a harder, more Marsy, I love you so fucking much, right? Not obsessive. In fact, they're quick to leave when they're like, I'm overwhelmed, right? But Venus in Aries is, I will fucking cut a bitch if you hurt my loved one, right? Also, there's a fight, right? My mother has Venus in Aries, and I know that she loves me when she wants to fight me or argue with me, right? Aries, look, it's the sign of the ram, so it kind of likes to argue. And it's like, if they're not telling you their beliefs strongly, assertively, then they're not loving you. It's like they need you to know what they think in real time immediately, right? Aries is immediacy. So she's probably Saturn gives a reserved, Venus gives a seductive, right? So it's just really interesting to see that interplay, I'm quick to commit, but maybe not. And I need a lot of independence. And I love you if we're arguing, if I'm fighting with you. Right. It's like how also, another thing, Venus doesn't like pathetic music. Like my mom, she hates like country music because she can't stand it when women beg or plead for their man not to leave. It like fucking hate it. It's just interesting. They don't like pathetic sounding people. They themselves don't like to feel like they're coming across pathetic or weak, if you will, in some way, right? They don't like to feel weak. They like to feel like they have the upper hand, like they're winning. That's how they like to feel. And they like a challenge because Aries loves a chase. So Aries loves a chase, but she'll chase slow. She has an Aquarius sun like me. So she has in her 5th house of sex for fun, sex for pleasure, children, she has Aquarius. She has Mercury here. So this is another, anytime you have the sun and Mercury together, that's another I speak my mind placement quickly. I know what my mind thinks quickly. And she has arrows here too, which means that she can be irresistible and turn on some charm quickly when she wants to. And a part of her charm will be some kind of gruffness, quickness, impulsiveness, right? That's like a part of her aggression, a part of her charm. Aquarius, though, loves to have perspective. So in the 5th house, Aquarius seeks to understand children and sex for fun and romance. It's another independence thing. She likes independence. Aquarius needs intellectual, needs. I cannot just do a hot body. I can, but I need more than that. I want to flirt with someone who is up to my level intellectually, right? Aquarius is very about like science, right? It's a very science fueled placement. It's one that loves, it easily has perspective. It's like the bird that flies over the earth. And so this means that she doesn't get like attached just because she's having sex. She doesn't get like thingy, like attached, right? Because Aquarius is like, I need my independence, right? I need to be able to fly. I don't get bogged down emotionally. She does not get bogged down emotionally. She has the only water that she has in her chart is her workhouses. So she's going to work in ways that make people feel connected to each other, relatable, right? Water connects. She has Mars and Neptune. That's another sexy, right? I'm very sensual, very sexy. Mars in, that was interesting. Mars in Scorpio rules the genitals. Mars and Scorpio people often like to penetrate others. Jennifer Aniston, if you have not penetrated anybody's butt yet, I think Brad Pitt might be down for it. That could be one of the things that y'all like. And then Neptune, though, Neptune kind of goes, do I want that? I don't want to cause harm, but it's all the same, right? It transcendence. You might transcend if you do that, Jennifer Aniston. So Neptune gives us a kind of glamour, right? It gives us a magnetic attractor. So sex, Mars, Scorpio, genitals, right? Very sexual, very deep, dark sexual. It's in its home. So it's the ninja. So sneaks up on you. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I'm in love. Or I really want to fuck her, kind of a thing. Oh, look, she has okay, so before I move on to that, Mars Neptune makes for magnetically sexual. That's what it does. It gives a glamour to the sexual. So even though she needs a lot of independence, right? And she has restriction there, right? She has Saturn that kind of rules her action. She still has this Mars that is very ambitious. She is very, very ambitious in Neptunian things too. So she could do some kind of tantra, although because there would be something about wanting to deeply merge with someone, right? Neptune gives a kind of Pisces vibe there. So it definitely gives like a value for that. Anyway. Yeah, she has a moon in Sagittarius. And what have I said about moon in Sagittarius? Give me all the toys. Okay, so I can see why they are kind of into each other. I may not get to Angelina Jolie today. We can do Angelina and Brad another day. How about that? Oh, I'm sorry. If you were looking forward to me doing it, I'm getting over not feeling very good. So, all right. So to sum up, here, Jennifer Aniston. She cares about beauty and evenness and justice and independence, being independent when she's physically with others, right? Mars, Neptune, definitely wanting to merge with someone in a spiritual way and in a contracty way. What is the contract? She will want to contract or want to know what the aim is at. Because Scorpio wants to possess and wants to know what it has and what it doesn't have. She has a moon in Sagittarius. This is give me some toys, give me sex toys, give me adventure, give me travel for sure. A body that likes to travel, maybe also likes that she could do impersonations too, right? She and Brad could definitely do like a impersonations thing. That'd be fun. And then her fifth house here of romance is intellectual. I need someone who is smart. I need someone who has perspective and understanding, someone who marvels at my capacity to share my understanding, right? It's a fixed sign. So it will take things longer to dawn on her. I have an Aquarius sun too. So sometimes it takes a while for things to dawn on us. It may take her a while to really understand. I mean, Saturn's in Aries. No, she gets it. She knows when somebody's coming on to her. But yeah, they're talking to each other. That's Sun and that's Saturn. So she's quicker than maybe others might give her credit. Like it gives more of a quickness to that Sun that would otherwise need a minute to digest things in the romance area. I know she had like a Mars something too, right? Don't we have a Mars square Sun? We do. See, so she has Mars 23 degrees, second house of values. in square friction motivation to her sun. This means that she also has a lot of energy, a lot of physical energy that she needs to conduct in a positive way, or she will argue, right? She will definitely fight. She will get fightier if she's not expending that energy in a way that is very physical and is, yeah, it has to be very physical. This is a very, there's an irritation here if she doesn't get her way. But having said that, yeah, she'll definitely push to get her way for sure, for sure. But yeah, she has to find constructive ways to get out her aggression, or it will come out on whoever she's romantically involved with that she values. That's how that works. All right, let's do a Synastry chart. All right, let's go to, I want to do, okay, I'm going to stop my sharing for like a second, just because I want to look at the charts and I want to look up Brad Pitt's charts. Yeah, public charts. All right, Brad Pitt. I'm going to look at their Synastry together. There you are, darling. Oh, well, okay. Okay, Jennifer, I'm just getting it lined up. And the reason why I pull it off the screen is because I have lots of charts. And the more we know about astrology, the more I don't want to show clients that I have charts, you know, because it's starting to get more personal. People take astrology more seriously now. So, of course, you don't want that stuff out there anymore. It's not like something vague like it used to be. Now it's like, oh, shit, people can see things about you. All right. So we have a Venus-Jupiter conjunction here. So in Brad Pitt's 5th house of Aries, her 7th house of other come together. That's a very amiable coming together. He inspires her attraction a lot, right? He has Jupiter 9 degrees. Her Venus is at 9 degrees. That is a very, very, very strong attraction. She will definitely see him as super kind of a partner, strong partner material, right? For sure. And he will see her as extremely attractive, Venus. And they will see each other as almost inspirational. There's an inspirational, they're going to want to do bold actions together, pioneer together in some way. That's really interesting to see. Also, there's a rapidness here. So I rapidly thought you were hot, which of course, you know, just kind of makes sense. I don't even know if you need astrology to know that. All right. Her moon is at 23 degrees Sagittarius, and his sun in his 1st house, so it's part of his ego, it's part of his soul, is at 25 degrees Sagittarius. That is a sun-moon contact. This is a very traditional, we see each other as marriage material. My inner world is your ego world, right? So they would be like, oh shit, we get each other. There would be an instant understanding of each other. Like, oh, fuck, right? Like, we know each other. What else have we got here? We have Mercury. Yeah, Mercury. So her Mercury, 0 degrees of Aquarius, is conjunct his Venus moon. So Brad Pitt will very much like the things that she has to say, the way that she thinks he will feel emotionally attracted to, right? The way that she processes, right? The perspective that she will seem to have will be very right in line with him, right? This also gives a friendship vibe. Anytime Venus and Mercury have a contact, that gives a friends forever. We will be friends in some way vibe, right? Okay, so I'm looking at her Priapus. Priapus is where a woman is like, give it to me, right? I want you to penetrate me. It's not where they want to have babies. It's where they want to be like, give it to me, right? So her Priapus is at 20 degrees Capricorn, and his moon, body, emotional, inner world, is at 22 degrees, and Venus. So she would feel very, and she had a lot of Saturn placements, right? Her sun is ruled by Saturn. Her Saturn's in her seventh house. Saturn, maturity. Saturn rules Aquarius and Capricorn, right? So yeah, strongly and like glue. There would be like a glue, right? Saturn is commitment, long lasting, structure, right? Yeah, she would definitely be like, I want your attractive body to give it to me. But it might be less bestial in this case. I mean, and more gentler. Because it's not fire, it's earth, but it's cardinal earth, so it's rapid moving earth. Right. All right. I'm trying to see if okay. Her Mars. Okay, that's her own. Okay, her Mars 23 degrees is in exact sextile to his Venus of 23 degrees. That is a very flowing, there's easy sexual chemistry between them, right? If it was a square, it'd be more visceral, but there's an ease here. There is a softness, a yinness to the way that they get together. But there is this sort of, see this here? There is a little semi-sextile here. Can I isolate you? Here, can I isolate you? So this right here, see this? It's a little angle here, and that's from her Mars. Whoop. Okay, that's her Mars to his, that's her Mars 23 of Scorpio to his Mars, who's exalted, of 10 Capricorn. Interesting. That's a definite wanting to one up each other, but kind of effortlessly, because they're both in their domicile. Mars doesn't have to try, it just is. So they're both. So a semi sextile can be aggression. It could be a rock in the shoe. It can be friction. You kind of want Mars to be in some kind of friction with other aspects to make the sex hot, if you will. So that's interesting. Oh, we do have, is that hers and hers? Yeah, that's hers. All right. Yeah, I would do a composite chart like I did with Jennifer, Jennifer Lopez and Ben. But because I don't have her exact time of birth, it kind of makes me not want to, because then you really get tight in angles. They have MC. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be around each other for a long time. They've got some friendliness, they've got some sexiness, right? We can see why they are attracted, right? Venus, Jupiter, Mars, exact sextile to Venus. We have some, so we have some amiable eases, and we have some friction, right? Sun moon contact. I can see why they would definitely want to be together. But why she needs a lot of independence. That's the it's here. She needs a lot of independence. And Brad Pitt, perhaps less so. Brad Pitt doesn't need as much independence as she does. So they're probably the reason why they're not still together is she needs space, that's what she needs. Also, I think he's got that Juno, Neptune, Black Moon, Lilith, Scorpio, 12th house. That is definitely sexual betrayal, repressed, hidden until it's not energy. And I think, didn't he have an affair on her? If they could have talked about it, it could have been a lot better. Like they could have talked about it, and that would have been better. But he would have a hard time knowing that he needed to talk about it because it's in a 12th foggy house. All right. So that's it. Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt, why they have an attraction, why maybe it doesn't work, why it could work if they could both accept that she needs a lot of independence. And why they have an attraction that just won't quit, right? That oh, I leave, but I come back. Oh, but I come back, right? Because there's magnetism there. All right. So thank you so much for listening to me. You can watch us on YouTube, and then I show you the charts and stuff like that. Yeah. Have a great day.